Why you looking down on me? I'm only going up. Why you say you proud of me when you never was? Didn't mean to catch you hating, but it's better off for us. You would've backdoored me, would've shown me who you was. When I said we brothers, I ain't say it just because. One hand washes the others, I kept washing yours first. Niggas tried to kill me cause they sliding for your words. Didn't even warn me, that shit almost got me murdered. Got me holding glizzies, I'm just on my way to work. Remember when it happened, it was before December 1st. Why I put this in a verse, my feelings turn to...
What it is, what it do, man. Welcome to episode 43 of T3MU TV. It's your host, Nero. You know when you see my face, I got a special guest. I got a very special guest. But before we get into the special guest, we got Haitian G with us, man.
What's going on?
Co-host. Yes, sir. How's everything with you, bro? Everything good?
Yeah, you already. Everything
got them shades on. What's going on?
About Browns, man.
Vampire.
Okay. And now getting into the special guest. You know, this woman right here, this queen, you know, she started off on a shaky path, but now she's doing wonderful things. You know what I mean? She's an author. She's advocating for people that's in prison, you know, trying to get out. She's doing her thing, man, and I'm so excited to have her on. You know, when I seen her story, it came. I was watching TV. I was like, you know when you're watching TV, but you're not really paying attention. And I heard Ayana Bean, and then I heard Boston. I was like, oh, I'm tuning in. You know what I'm saying? But we got the legend, the queen in the building, Ayana Bean. How's it going, queen?
It's going good. I'm glad to be here.
Yes. Took us a little while, but we got it.
We got it together.
Yes, I'm happy to have you here.
Yes, I'm honored that you wanted me to be here. So I'm happy.
Yes. So how was your summer?
It's busy. It's been a busy summer, which is good. Busy is good, right? It's been busy. It's been safe. It's been productive.
Okay.
Good things. Nothing but positive things. So.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. That's good. Okay. So I don't know if you watched the episode on T3MU TV, but we like to start from the beginning. You know, start from when you was born or where you was born at and everything. So, you was born and raised in Boston?
Yes, absolutely. And I grew up not too far from where we're at right now.
Yes. When we was little, me and him, we was rugrats running around here too, man.
So I was born, like you said, go back, right?
Yep.
So my mother's family migrated from Birmingham, Alabama.
Yep.
To Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And then, so my mother was probably like in elementary school still, right? And then when they first got here, they lived in Roxbury for a minute, on Copeland, I think, and then they moved to East Boston.
Oh, okay.
I might have skipped a place in between there. I don't remember, but to East Boston Projects is where they actually lived for a little bit of time. So that's when my mother met my father in East Boston, and a lot of families that I've grown up with, our families all know each other. They all were living in East Boston at some point. And then my grandparents, then they all moved to Academy Homes.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know what's dark side or light side, but it's over there.
Listen, I'm from Dorchester. I don't even step in Roxbury, but I got love because I got people from over there.
Yeah.
But it's just...
It's off of the Columbus Ave side over there. So I don't know what side that is, but they moved there. And actually my mother and my father got married like in the backyard over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
That's crazy, right?
That is, but it's nice. That's dope, though.
Yeah, they got married.
Y'all must have had a nice backyard.
I just remember it being like townhouses or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So because my grandparents have 8 kids, so they obviously had to have something spacious. So.
Yes.
Yeah, so they had I remember the wedding was there. And then my parents got their own place in Jamaica Plain Projects, so over off of Center Street.
Oh, okay. Yep. Familiar with over there. Worked over there.
Yeah, so that's where, so I was born in between East Boston and Academies, and then they raised me over when I was very small in Jamaica Plain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we lived there for a little bit. I think maybe till I was like 7.
Okay.
6, 7 years old, and then we moved to Morton Street Yeah. So
And that's where all your memories.
that's where everything has come from. Morton
Yeah.
Street,
Okay.
So we lived only three houses down from Frank's place, which is no longer there now. But
What's Frank's place? Oh,
Frank's place was on the corner right now where Morton and Blue Hill Avenue, where the gas station is.
Yeah.
So Frank's place is at the corner across the street. So right now it's like a corner store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what it used to be like Frank's place is a what?
It's
like,
a bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a bar, and I think I could be wrong, but I think like the guy who owned it, maybe he was partners or ownership or something like with Packy's. You know, if you're familiar with Packy's, is no longer here either.
Nah.
Right? None of these
You
local
putting us on to the spots.
None of these local. It's unfortunate. None of these local bars are around.
No
because in Mattapan, there was Frank's Place. There was Lane's Lounge. That was over where now the Mattapan Library is.
Oh wow.
That used to be that was the spot.
The spot.
Yeah, my mother was going there. That was the
I've been there
spot.
partying.
Then there was in Mattapan Square, Conway's and the Tavern.
There was a tavern in Mattapan?
Yeah, so
Wow.
it was a place called the Tavern. So if you go in Mattapan, you see the picture of the bus going into the wall there.
Yeah.
That was like, that happened, and that was the place.
Oh wow.
So that's a true story.
Dang,
Yeah.
you putting us on.
Yeah, so Mattapan was, it was a community that had a lot of things in it for us, people that lived in the community to do.
Yes.
So now we have to go other places.
Mm.
But it was, and this spot that I'm in right now
Yep.
was the spot.
Yeah.
When I was young, we used to come here and it would be like the block parties, the after parties and everything.
Yep.
And that was in the late 80s.
what a time, right? That's the golden era of hip hop too. So
Yeah, and then as I got old, then it started being like the reggae spot.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was around the corner. So coming through Norfolk sometime.
Okay. Chill out, hang out.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was Ayana like growing up?
I think that I'm the same as I am now. I'm open-minded. I like to explore. I like to see new things. I was quiet.
Yes.
I'm quiet until I get comfortable.
I'm same here.
Yeah. A watcher of my surroundings,
Same.
the people around. So it takes a little bit to warm up.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like people that I grew up with, like if they knew me or seen me around, they really don't know me.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't like who
Out
I am with
there and
everybody.
just yeah.
Yeah. But I definitely know who everybody was, where everybody's from.
It's the same here. I know who everybody is, but I'm not always
but I
out
don't
there.
know. Right, absolutely. So and I like to have fun. Shebu was the spot because it's still, that's like the only place that's still there.
Yep. Shout out to Pop. We know the owner.
Yes,
so
Yeah,
sir.
that's the only place that's still there that would be decades worth of history for a
Yeah.
lot of us. So I remember when I was a teenager, I think it was Friday nights and Saturday nights. So I would lie and say I was 16, which I obviously wasn't. I didn't even look 16, but they would let us in. Nick would let us in.
Yep. Shout out to Nick.
Yeah, shout out to Nick. I was 12 and 13 going. And that was the scene. That was the thing to do. All the boys was there.
Shavu's.
All the boys from every block was there. From all over Roxbury, Georgia.
Yeah.
That was the kids club.
Yes, it was when we was little too.
Yeah.
I didn't make too many appearances, but
Yeah.
that was the spot. Because
It was the spot.
because I couldn't skate, so
You didn't know how to skate?
at all. I still
still
don't.
don't know how to
No.
Crazy.
Why you don't know how to skate?
My coordination is off. Like I'm terrible.
Did you ever try to learn?
Not really.
See?
I'm just
We
a
gotta go
hold on
skating.
to the
No,
rail. I'm
no.
so serious. Like
No.
hold on to the rail. Like
You can't do that.
oh man.
Crazy.
How you gonna look cool when the song come on?
Listen. Once I do this, that's my
it.
little 5 seconds to get cool till I get to the next spot.
No, that was the place. I mean, and when I was coming up, so it would be like, like you said, it was the golden era of what our hip hop culture is and what our, I think street culture, our urban community culture is, So I don't think y'all had this, but in my time, like we used to have people, dudes would come to Shabu in limos.
What?
Yeah, see, there was, things was happening.
Oh,
back then.
yeah, y'all was balling out. Pulling up to the VU with the limo?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
there was a legendary scene of, dudes had a limo.
Oh, that's lit. That's lit though. That's lit.
As young, just think that was, 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, it was kind of, now I have the understanding of the live fast, die young thing. Mm-hmm. When I was growing up, I think my first funeral for a friend was when I was 12.
Wow.
So a lot of teenage pregnancy. I'm also a teenage parent, but I think that comes from, well, people aren't going to be around for a long period of time. Like, people are getting killed.
Mm-hmm. At a high rate.
Might not make it, what I mean? So it's kind of like, I think in our era, a lot of people doing more mature things for themselves because of the fact of being afraid to never live again.
Facts.
So I can understand a lot of what these kids out here today think. But, I feel like they're living longer than we did, even though there are some that, there's a lot of murders that have happened to young kids.
Yeah, it's like the same cycle.
Yeah, it's a cycle. I just feel like, I was, in my time, I felt like everybody was dying. Like, everybody that I know that you say this name, it's like they died, and I can imagine, what's happening today, too. Yeah. It's the same thing happening, but different, so, yeah.
Yeah, we got to get it together. Yeah. But what high school did you attend?
So I went to a couple. So I was a Metco student.
Yes.
I was a Metco student. So I went for high school, I went to Lincoln Sudbury.
Okay.
And then, but by that time, I was not really, I was a smart kid.
Yeah.
And I was really
What was your best subject?
English.
Okay.
Yeah, English. And
Writer.
I'm the person who says, no, it's not ask, it's ask.
Oh, yeah, you'll be talking to me a lot then, because, listen, I trip up on a lot of my words.
My mother would always cuss me
this?
out. Yes, I was like, it isn't.
Yes.
So they wasn't cool with that, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. I was out in the world, the Shavu world, boys world, I got teenagers, so I like all the, just boys and everything that's happening, so exciting, and jewelry and all this stuff.
Your teenage life,
and it was spinning. So I didn't really care to continue to go to school out in Sudbury. It was just different. Like, I'm living near Shavu.
Yep.
I'm going to school in Sudbury.
Yeah.
It's two different worlds. So I could be sent to go be educated in another town, but then I still got to go home.
Yeah.
And home is nothing like where I'm going to school.
Yeah, that era was hot too, though.
Yeah, it was.
Back then was hot, man.
It was very hot.
I wasn't there, but I know.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that your history can still, there's stories and stories like North, where we're at.
Yeah, listen.
This, I know a lot of stories.
District could talk, listen, they'll tell you some stories.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stories, and it's unfortunate, but it's a part of our culture. It's a part of our history, and it's things that I'll never forget. And it also helped raise me into the person I am today.
Okay. So did you graduate from Sudbury?
No, I tried my hardest to get kicked out of that school.
Oh man, just wasn't feeling it no more.
No, I really wasn't. I just was zoned out of the struggle of be this way, here this way. You got to go. It just came a burnout.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
trying to keep up with.
Yeah, and
and not finding really your niche or your fitting spot.
You can't really, sometimes the best thing to do is if you could sit and just be silent.
Yes.
Then you can kind of figure out your own thoughts, right? But if you're over here and then you're over there, you have to combine these two people.
Yes.
Pretty much. And some people are good at doing this. But a young adolescent that really, not everybody's successful at balancing the two.
Facts.
Was you like the only black in that school?
No. There was kids from everywhere. Dorchester, Mattapan, Roxbury.
Y'all all caught the bus together, right?
Yeah, we got on one bus and headed out to school.
Yeah.
But it's not like everybody was, it's just like gangs. They was from Roxbury.
Yep.
They was from over there. They was from over there, but I mean.
Me mugging you when you get on the bus?
Yeah, and I was, I was small and I was quiet. And I would just get up on that bus by the window and don't talk to anybody.
Just cool it, yeah.
Yeah,
keep to yourself.
Yeah, and I'm a little kid. I used to think I was like the Black Annie. So that was a little weird, probably. Yeah. But high school was cool. It's just I was growing up, and my neighborhood won that war.
Yes.
you know, of the person that I felt like I belonged was not there.
Yeah. And then you end up graduating from.
I graduated from Hyde Park High.
Okay. And did you go to college?
I went to a couple of different colleges.
After high school?
After high school, after kids, you know, I got a lot of credits.
Okay.
a lot of credits.
What's some of the schools you went to?
I went to Fisher College.
Okay.
I've done Eastern Nazarene, Quincy College, Curry College. I've taken Emerson College.
Yep.
Did classes there too. Most of my credits come from Fisher and Cambridge, though.
Okay.
I did New England Business School of Finance. A couple of. I need to collect those credits.
Yeah. Go grab them. You could possibly be, you know, a diploma. I mean, a degree.
It would be. It
Yes.
would be. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did. Yeah, I did the college thing. But I wasn't consistent at those things. You know, by the time it was before I left high school, I had my first son.
Yes.
So I mean, I had a son, and then in '94 I had another son. So I graduated high school in '92.
And then had a
You know what I
son.
mean?
In 93.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had a son '92, had a son '94.
And then that's when you decided to get a job.
Yep. I mean, not really at first either, too. Like I had this dream that I was gonna own my own hair salon. So so I could braid really good. So I used to be braiding people. I was making good money doing that. And I wanted to go to cosmetology school, but then it was like, everybody's doing hair, right? I want to own the salon, but I didn't have the tools and the know-how to do that.
Yes. Nobody was maybe pushing you to say, well, you can still do it and, you know, get your shop.
No, my mother was like, you have this kid, you need to go to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so it wasn't.
Got to feed the baby.
Yeah, even prom night, she was like, and I'm not babysitting all night.
Oh, man.
It's like,
You still stayed out, did your thing, though?
No, I didn't. I was home.
Oh, okay. So you made it.
home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, I didn't, it was all right, I guess.
Yeah.
But, you know, I would like a prom do-over, I think.
Yeah, I would. I mean, my prom was alright. I wouldn't mind to
school
do.
did you do?
I did. I went to New Mission first.
Okay.
Because I was a basketball player, and then I did. Then I ended up transferring to Dorchester High.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, did graduated from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You should have stayed in New Mission.
Yeah, I should
That's
have.
the basketball. I
Yeah.
a lot of kids, do well. They go over there and play that. Yeah.
Yep. I was gonna stay, but me and the coach. Yeah, me and the coach had a little, but we good now. He's looking out for me and doing everything. So shout out to Corey.
That's good.
Yes.
My son told me that he was, my youngest son was basketball kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I remember in his, he had been, both of my sons, I always had them in sports, so football and basketball. It was Mattapan, was it the Patriots?
Mattapan
it was Hyde Park.
Patriots.
It was the Hyde Park.
Oh, Hyde Park Patriots?
Yeah,
was
they
it
did
called?
Hyde Park. Was it? I forget the name.
Hyde Park Cowboys, I think.
Cowboys, yes.
Yes.
Okay, now I remember the picture. Yes, Cowboys. So they did the Cowboys. They did all the different basketball.
Did they do
leagues.
Roxbury Y? No books, no ball?
No, when was that created? My son was born '94.
Yeah.
was around
That def was around.
I don't know. It might have been. I don't know.
Yeah, it def was. And at the Roxbury Y.
No, I didn't bring them to Roxbury.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nope. They didn't go to Roxbury.
Yeah.
They was at like the Matta Hut, the Y down here.
Oh, Dorchester, yeah.
Some other place. There's a lot of places that was around that's not around.
Yeah.
That they did sports programs. And let's see what else. And then we moved out to Brockton. So before, like when they got into middle school, it was like, I can't have them going to school out here. I got to go somewhere else. Not knowing like Brockton was probably not.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I later found out, my son told me when he was in the 7th grade, he had a friend that was in rehab for shooting heroin.
What?
I'm like, in the 7th, where did they learn to do that?
Yo, that's crazy.
He never told me this until he was older.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never, you should have told me that. We would have moved again.
We would have been out of there. Like,
Yeah.
listen, new school for you.
Yeah, but, they did, when it was middle school time, they was in Brockton already.
Okay.
And then they graduated from Southeastern. They didn't go to Brockton High.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they went to college as well.
They went to college. Yep. They did college after high school, both of them. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
So coming out of high school, you get the job at Emerson, correct, right?
Yeah, so there was a bunch of jobs in between. So I started working customer service, you know, at a bunch of different places. And then one of the places that I worked, there was a woman who came. So I worked at a place called Student Assistance.
Yes.
And so there, I would service the loans and families, help them get their paperwork together for the schools. And then there was a woman who, you know, I would go to do master promissory note signings. They would have me go to different colleges, so I'll help on like freshman weekend and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And this
Getting
lady
the kids
would
ready
always,
for college.
get them ready, help them with the paperwork. And this lady was like, you know, I think it would be really good if he was actually at the school, because you know, because I was knowledgeable, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, you should interview with my friend over here. And I'm like, all right, let's, you know, do it.
Yeah.
You know? So I interviewed, got the job, and to Emerson I was.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was dope. I mean, that was probably like the first time I felt like I had a career kind of job. I was in, you know, a well-known institution.
Yes.
You know, and I had a big office.
Oh wow! So you felt like you was making those right steps, which you were.
I was
Definitely were.
right steps. You know, I felt like I was working up to things like this.
Yes.
You know, and so I was up in there.
Definitely. Okay.
I was in it. So it was a good time. I felt like a good time for me career-wise.
Yes. You was making that move.
And I knew that, you know, this is great because, you know, you work at a school, your children go to school for free, you could take classes for free. So it was always that kind of thing. You know, my train of thought was higher education is whenever there's vacation, then I could be on vacation with my kids.
Yes.
You know, so I always wanted the higher education.
Yes.
For those purposes.
Facts. As you should, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
The benefits.
So, yes, got to get the benefits. It's the best part.
Yeah.
So you're working there, and things is going well. Things is going good. So when does things take a turn?
Well, so just to backtrack.
Yes.
You know, again, I had this great job.
Yes.
You know, I had these other jobs, but you know, life wasn't great. You know, I wasn't living. It's the same difference of going to school in Sudbury, but I live over here.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to this office, but stuff's not good. You know, stuff isn't good, and I think that I always learned to cover things, and that would be, you know, from how I was raised. You know, your parents fighting, like, you don't talk about our business outside this house.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You don't. You just smile and
you don't
keep it going.
Yeah,
you don't let it show.
So we like turn into these sociopaths from these things.
You do, because you're bottling everything in.
Right, and nobody ever talks about, is something bothering you? They just think that you're in the room talking to your dolls because that's just what you do. Because you know what I mean? It's not like, maybe there's some real things going on.
Facts.
So I don't think that. I just, instead of those things being talked about, I just developed my own way of dealing with, of hiding things. So at a young age, I learned how to sweep things under a rug, smile, everything's pretty, no problems here. Yeah. Right? So I learned that at an early age, and by the time I'm an adult, I'm an expert at this.
Yes.
I'm an expert. So, you know, unfortunately, from high school to adulthood, you know, things had changed. You know, I was still in my high school relationship, and you know, life happens. Life is happening. So I'm in this relationship. It's, you know, I love the person, you know, but we're not seeing eye to eye on a lot of things. Yeah. You know, I'm trying to get the kids, you know, have this family life. Yes. You know, but
step into adulthood and have that family life.
But, you know, he's a young guy.
Yes.
He's a young guy, you know what young guys do.
Yes.
Still living, you know, living. But not to say that anything was bad in that aspect. You know, a guy with a heart of gold. Yes. It was great to the kids. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's also a young guy out here trying to find his way through life too, doing different things. And so he got on the wrong tracks, right? And there was substance abuse, you know, in our household, in his life, and then in our household.
Yes, it spilled into the house.
It now becomes another kid.
Yes. Yes.
It becomes another kid. Actually, a kid, and then it turns into a monster.
Yes. That's a great analogy.
And it was kind of hard, not kind of, it was very hard to deal with this. But it's not like I wasn't familiar.
Yeah.
I was familiar with it because, you know, my family's from the 70s. So there was weed smoking, there was drinking, there was, you know, powder around, you know what I mean? And, you know, the party, you know, that was their party life, you know?
Yes.
To each his own, you know,
Yes.
do what you do. But it's not like I didn't know of these particular things.
Yeah. It wasn't like super new to you.
Yeah, it wasn't super new to me. I think what was new to me is I developed this sense in my head in life is that I would do the opposite of the things that I knew about growing up. You know? So something that, you know, maybe, and I never talked about that, it was something maybe that my mother recognized and my dad was, you know, again, there was substance abuse and it probably turned into something uncontrollable.
Yes.
It turned into a monster, right? And what she did was, we're out. Me, the girls, we're gone.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You're out of here.
Yeah. We
Right?
got 'em.
Yeah. So obviously, the reason, you know, the domestic violence, you know, all these components come together, and so that was her road of out of here. Me, it's I always seen all of these family members of mine. Well, they all do this. Grandma don't kick them out. She just, you know, everybody gets taken care of. You don't disown your family because they're doing these things. Like, you still care for them. You still love them. You know who they are. There's just this thing.
Yeah, you just even more kind of got to hug them. And
That was that love from back in the day, though. Nowadays, nah.
No, it's not like that no more. Like, we can talk about methadone. Looks like a bunch of people whose family was like, no.
Yeah.
But that wasn't something back in my time growing up. It would be give them what they need or whatever, you know, you're feeding these monsters. And so I think I kind of, you know, I didn't have a balance to this. I just thought that, listen, well, you don't give up on your family. You don't give up on the people you love. You know? So it's like, hey, so how do we handle this problem? And, you know, me, the sweep it under the rug, the feed it, the make everything still look great is what I did. That was, you know, something that I thought I could do. But just like all the other things of, you know, that I grew up with, it was something killing me. You know, it was killing me. Like, it was hard.
It's heavy on you.
It was so heavy, you know, and it was heavy, and it was a lot to try to let the kids not see.
Yes.
You know, to kind of
balance.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't doing a good balance in that. Not mentally. You know, not mentally. I mean, no one probably knew this. Obviously, you know, like only the people very close to me would know this, but you wouldn't know that something was wrong. I remember my friend saying, you was going through all of that and you just like drowning in the water and you wasn't gonna tell anybody. And it's like, no. I mean, because one of the things I also wanted to do is ask anyone for help. Yeah. You know, like, I'm so strong and I could do everything. I don't need help. Yeah, you didn't want to pull anybody in either. I have that same sense of like, if I could figure it out, I'm gonna try to figure it out. I'll try to figure it out. Yeah. So for me, this is my family. This is us. We take care of us, and however we do that is what we do. Yes. In my mind, you know. But it was killing me, you know. And so I needed an escape too, you know. And I was trying to do a career, be a good mom, be a great support system. I wanted to still learn and excel in life myself. And I started learning different things about the music business. I was really into that. And I was just escaping and stuff. I was trying to focus on anything but this monster growing. Yes. You know, just feed it and I'll just run and go. You know, just feed it. And it's like, you know, you're not taking care of the problem. Yeah, it's just a snowball. It's a snowball effect. It absolutely is. And so I'm sorry about that. But you were saying? So it was, what was I saying? So you was talking about just it snowballing. Yes, it started snowballing. I'm not being mindful of my own mental state. I'm just looking for escapes. I'm not facing the problem. Yes. Financially, wasn't doing great at all, but it looked like it possibly to other people because I had this great job. Yeah. Title. Yes, the title. Yeah. You know, it's a great title, but I wasn't making probably what's equivalent. Maybe it was like even $11. It wasn't even $30,000 a year. I don't believe. Wow. You had to wear a suit all day, every day. I was dressing up. Mm-hmm. You know, going to this office, and you know, I was really just dying inside. Yeah. You know, some mornings it was like, gee, I don't even want to go to this place. I just feel weird. But you know, I did a great job. I was good at what I did, and we have this financial issue, and I figured out a way that I could clean this up.
Yeah.
I thought I had the answer.
Yes.
The answer was something that that wasn't an answer.
Yes.
It wasn't an answer. So I figured I had this foolproof scheme. We call it a scheme. You call it what it is, right?
Yes.
That I could take this money, take these checks that were coming in. So at Emerson, checks would be coming in where basically equivalent to if someone refinanced.
Yeah.
Right? So you're consolidating your student loans. So when you can consolidate your student loans with banks, so just to back it up, when you graduate from high school, you have a 6-month grace period before your loans start, right? Okay. But what banks were doing back then, a lot of stuff was happening with banks, mortgage and all that kind of stuff. But what they were doing is trying to get students to already consolidate their loans while they're still in school, right? Which means that you'll start already paying your student loans at that time. So that's something that they weren't supposed to be doing. But they were, scaring people into, oh, this will be a great rate. But it's like, you don't know about deferments and forbearances and all that kind of stuff. You could wait for a long time for that stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to rush into it.
Right, but I think that the way they were presenting is that you'll get this refund, from this if you do this now, So it's like, whatever. But this is what they were doing. So the checks that would come in were from the banks to pay off students' loans.
Yes.
From the school. And whatever other stuff it was, right? And so my job was I receive the checks, I do my little do, off to the ombudsman's office it goes, and that's that. And then I had my other part of my position was Perkins loans. So with those, I would be the person, I'm like the lender. The school is the lender. Perkins loans come from the school.
Okay.
So with Perkins loans, you had people making payments to that Perkins loan at the school.
Yep.
So my dual role was that. So these checks that would come in, they'd be like $10,000, $20,000, it'd be a whole bunch of numbers.
Bunch of money.
It'd be a whole bunch of numbers. And in my head, I said, well, I'm just going to borrow this one.
Yeah.
Right? It was a small check. I'm like, I'm going to borrow this one. And I took it. I, just like I do my regular role.
Yeah.
But this one check didn't make it to the ombudsman's office, right?
Yeah.
But I still did my, do what's supposed to happen.
Still did everything you were supposed to do.
Still did everything I was supposed to do. And I went, because you know what, one thing I'm going to tell you, I had not really even thought about the whole mechanics of this. Obviously, because I don't know, it's like, did I figure that I would take this check and nobody's going to know that they're expecting something? I don't know if they expect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that part, and you know what, and I'm a person who okay, if it doesn't match with this plan I have going on here, well, I don't think about it.
Facts.
Because this has to work.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell myself something that's going to make it not work.
Yeah, you can't,
you can't
convince yourself not to. You know what I'm saying?
Keep that energy going.
Right. Yeah. You have to keep this energy going, because other than that, then I'm going to be scared that I'm not going to do it. And it's like, this got to get done.
Facts.
People are crazy like that.
Yeah. You got to trick your mind.
But you got to make your mind. Some people talk themselves out of, like if your friend's about to jump off the ledge, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if it's you on the ledge, it's like, all right, this is how this is going to work, girl. You're going to fall off the ledge. There's something down there. You're going to bounce back up. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But how long did you process it, though, in your mind before you actually put action into,
It was a couple of months.
Yeah.
It was a couple of months. So it was a couple of months that I put that plan in place. But I had been at the school for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. So it wasn't like it's something I started doing right away. Like I was there for a little while. I went and deposited into my own bank account. So I really thought this through, right?
Yes.
In my own bank account. So when I did that, the next day when I checked, and it was like, it went through.
Yeah, it was
the whole thing was available. All of it.
That's crazy.
All of it was available. So I went in and I just withdrew the money. And I was scared at first when I went in.
Yeah.
And then when I gave the check, and she just was acting normal. So I was like, oh, okay. Then I was looking to see, maybe, sometimes they
somebody
act
in the
normal.
corner, somebody.
Yeah. So you got, I did that maybe the one time. And I did this on my lunch break.
Yeah.
I went and got that money, and I went to work, and I was like, just wait, and I don't know for what.
Yeah.
Like, but it was successful.
Every
Yeah.
time somebody walks in, you be like,
Yeah.
damn.
Your heart dropped. Like, yeah.
Right.
That's crazy.
You like, shit.
Right, that happened. But then when nothing happened,
Yeah, you just like.
it was like, oh,
It's on.
I told you this plan worked, girl.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So that's what you was hoping.
Like, that confirmed that I made this plan that worked.
Yes.
Nah,
know?
it worked taking it out, but you never try paying one of them back though.
How? I don't know.
I don't know. Like you playing.
But I said I was gonna pay them back, but that's probably another lie I told myself. Because how would I have done that?
Facts.
I'm gonna go to the bank and say, hey, can you make this? Gonna give you this money. You make it back out to the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that didn't even make any sense when you think about that. You know what I mean? So these are just things that in my own head, in my own world of trying to make a way, trying to escape, trying to make things easier on me, take off some burdens, right?
Yeah.
That just didn't make any sense, And when that first time happened and it was clear to me,
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to do that again. Okay, I did it. So no, it was like within another few weeks, I'm like, all right, I'm going to take this one, do that, and then I just was on a roll.
It spiraled.
So how much you went up like a week?
Well, it wasn't. So it didn't happen like that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It wasn't like a weekly thing or a monthly thing. It was just like a access thing.
Oh yeah. Like
You know what I
whenever.
Like I need it.
Yeah, there's checks coming in every day. But every day I didn't take all of them every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, I want to go do this, so I need this. I want to go, I'm going to go, I'm going to take care of these things. So this is what I need for it,
Yeah.
And, that ended up being, a lot of money over time.
Yeah.
Over time. But that's exactly what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know, if I thought about it longer than a second, I probably would have brought myself to the jail and just say, hey, listen, just take me.
Yeah.
You're going to have to come for me because at one point it was so much. I was like, I was telling my sister like, yo, I gotta quit this job.
Yeah.
Like, equivalent of, an addict. I got to go cold turkey. This is the only way it's going to stop. I got to go,
You got to stop completely.
Yeah, I have to stop completely. So I'm like, I'm going to leave this school and I'm going to go work somewhere else. And it's not going to have nothing to do with checks.
Yeah.
So there's my other plan, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't work like that,
Once you take that first hit.
Yeah.
It's like you just. It's like, well, how am I gonna live without this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
How could I live without this? So now I'm starting to understand more of the mechanics of other addictions.
Yes.
It's all the same. Everyone has a form of some sort of addiction, but it just
Absolutely.
different stuff. It could be sneakers,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Clothes,
going out, travel. But it's just other things, and everything has a different type of consequence.
Yes.
But it definitely comes with a consequence. And I totally didn't think of any. I just, I think that what I was facing seemed much more severe to me than a consequence.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had the answer for that stuff, but I didn't have an answer for this.
But to be on you was in survival mode.
Survival mode. I mean, and the sad thing about that is, our whole urban community, our black and brown community is in survival mode from the time you're born.
Yes. We always in that gear every day.
Right.
7 days a week.
And what do you do about it? Like, if you don't get help about it, if you don't acknowledge these things, you're always going to be in survival mode. And like I said, I'm growing up around domestic violence, already substance use. Kids are dying like at young ages.
Yes.
I'm always just trauma.
Yeah.
You live a traumatic life and you don't even realize it until everything falls on your lap and you have to look at it. So one of the things is acknowledging things and facing it.
Yes.
And if you don't face it, you're just not going to win.
You're not.
It'll swallow you up. And everything was swallowing me up. But I had good pictures and I was out here and I was over here.
Yeah.
But I was going down a hole. So when I left that school, when I left Emerson, I went to Berkeley. And at Berkeley, what was my position over there? whatever that position was, it didn't have to do with checks, but it was still in finance. But you weren't supposed to see any checks, right? And it wasn't really. They did have some come over there, but they was very small.
Yeah.
Nothing to risk nothing for, like a couple $100 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't. But I really knew that there was something I didn't do to one of those checks back at Emerson. But it was just, I was doing so much.
Yeah, that it.
I was doing so much. There was some things I didn't do. You know?
You said the one check?
One.
That's crazy.
It was one.
Yeah.
And it was like $1,200. Right?
That's the domino effect right there. That
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Right. And that was always in the back of my head that I knew I forgot to do something. I forgot what it was.
Yeah. You
But
couldn't remember
I couldn't remember
at the time.
I couldn't remember at
Yeah.
the time. I really couldn't. But it was always sticking to me that I forgot to do something.
Yes.
You know, and when I went over to Berkeley, I was there for, I don't know how many months it was. Maybe it was almost 6 months I was over there. And so these guys came over, and I was like, oh, it's auditing season.
Damn,
So
6 months?
yeah,
Oh.
at Berkeley. And they, well, probably because that's how long it took them to do an investigation
to
over there at
find
Emerson
out. Yeah.
to
Yep,
see
yep,
what
yep.
was happening, right? Because I didn't left, right?
Yep.
So I get over there, you know, I'm in my office. They're, you know, the two guys are going around, they're talking to everyone in the office. And I'm thinking, oh, it's auditing season. I'm ready for audit. You know, I'm good
Yeah.
at my job. I got my stuff is ready, you know. But they talked to everyone else in their office. But when they came over to me, they, you know, they was like, we can go talk in another room. I was thinking, yeah, because my job's important.
You feel me? Like, I'm important.
You know. So when we went to go in the other, you know, area, I'm like, you need to bring my stuff, you know, because I have my things organized.
Yeah.
You know? But it was like, no, we don't need that. And I'm like, okay. So I went, we sat down, we was talking. They were asking me different questions about different things, what, like my position. And I was just talking, you know, And then he said, so that's what you were doing at Emerson College? And I went, oh.
Hold up.
That's crazy.
I was like, oh, okay. So I said, so am I being arrested?
Yeah.
You know, and they're
Listen.
like,
I'm like,
let's just talk, Miss Bean. I was like, oh no, I don't want to talk anymore if I have an attorney or
Yeah.
something, you know. I was saying that, and he was like, so this is what's gonna happen. You know, we're gonna arrest you.
Yeah.
You're gonna arrest you. We're gonna go out. He's like, we're not gonna embarrass you. We are gonna put the cuffs on you. He said, but I'm gonna put my jacket over you so that I don't want to embarrass you.
Yes.
And I was like,
And
I'm like, you can't wait till I go outside?
word. Yeah.
then let me meet you.
Yeah, like around the corner, something.
Back door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it was, you know, I was hurt.
Yeah.
You know, I was hurt. I just bought this house. First mortgage wasn't even due yet. You know, I had out of pocket.
So how long have you been? How long was you in the house?
Gee, I think that was like the first month.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but you know, like I had 3 or 4 months worth of mortgage in the account, anyways.
Yeah.
But it was like, you know, it's there. You know, but I just bought it. I just got up in there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of that, and I was thinking about my sons. And, you know, like I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know this process. This is the first time I've been arrested.
Yeah.
And so when they took me down to the state barracks, and I called my sister, like, okay, so just wanted you to know they got me.
Yeah.
She was like, who got you? You know, clowning.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm at the police, and I've been arrested. And my sister was like, oh my God, you know, I'm sure she was.
Yeah.
I'm sure she was having a hard time right there figuring that out. And
'Cause y'all are pretty close.
yeah, we're very close. And they were telling me that I would get a bail that night. My bail was like, he told me my bail was $10,000, and I'm like, I've never been arrested before.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
like,
I didn't kill
damn.
nobody, you know. But I just was like, yo, this is what I did, and I'm gonna have to deal with what I'm facing. But I didn't know what I was facing.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I was like, okay, in the scheme of this, I didn't look to see what the consequences would actually lead up to,
Yeah.
you know? So I had no clue. I had no information. I don't know what this was going to be. So I was at the state barracks and went into court that next day. Like my whole family was out there. And I was like, yes, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
And then they said my bail was $12,000.
Wow, they went up
But they
$2,000.
had already frozen all my bank accounts. You So I can't tell my sister, go over there and take this out,
so we
and I wasn't doing like I should have, learned from when I was younger. Like there was no shoebox money, there was nothing. I'm doing everything like as if it's legitimately mine, you know. So there was nothing there, and my family was in the courtroom, and I was just saying, "You got the money." My sister was like, "No." I was thinking, well, why everybody's here? Why are they here if they can't get me out? So when they would started running the charges and everything, and I think they were saying like I was facing 5 years, and I was just thinking, oh well, it's over. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like 5 years. But in my head, I was like, okay, so in 5 years, these are the things that I'll be this age, my kids will be this age. I was thinking of stuff like that. So I was preparing myself to go to prison for 5 years. And reality set in for real when there was no bail. Nobody had the bail, and they were getting me ready to transport me to Nashua Street. Wow. That's when it hit the fan. It hit the fan. That's when I was like, okay, I'm about to have panic attacks and everything. Go to Nashua Street. Oh, my God. I thought I was about to die, right? And they, I went to the back, cuffed me up, put me on the truck, head into Nashua Street. Yes. Get to Nashua Street. They, before it was time to change out of uniform or whatever, I was telling them, I said, look, I didn't get no phone call today. I need a phone call. I need to make a phone call because I'm going to get out of here today. Yeah. My family's coming to get me. I just know they're coming to get me, because I got this one cousin. He always going to be there for me. He's always going to be there. But I called my cousin, and he was like, well, he had a wife now. So he can't. And I was like, what? Oh, my God. That was set you off. Yeah. But his wife took the phone from him, and she said, I'm coming to get you. Oh, wow. She said, I'm coming to get you. And, I had never felt like I've been saved before in my life. In that minute, I felt like I was actually, Superman came and saved me. So shout out to Laurel because Laurel was like, you're not staying there. What are they talking about? I'm coming to get you. Fine. And I said, no, but it's $12,000. She said, we'll be there to get you. Shout out to her. Shout out to Laurel. And they came and got me. And I told that lady, I said, see, my cousin said she's coming. So I don't need to put on the uniform. Word. Right there. I was like, you don't need to bring me upstairs. I don't need to I don't need none of that. Yeah, I don't need any of that. And there was about 20 girls in there. I was thinking, oh, no, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. It was not going to work. Wasn't feeling it. Oh, it was not gonna work. I'm like, no, none of these kind of people. Yep. I'm like, they gonna kill me. For real. They're gonna kill me. For real. I did. I swear to God. But when they did come and get me, and I don't even know how I survived that. I don't know how I survived it. Like coming, then it's like she had to come bail me. I don't even got. I felt embarrassed not being able to do. That's the type of person that I am. Like I don't want nobody doing nothing for me. I want to do it myself. So yes. And if I can't do it, then it's not gonna get done. Like but no,
she was looking out though.
She looked out for me. And
I'm saying you was looking out when you was out.
Yeah, of course. So where was everybody? But even still, I'm not a type of person that. If I did something for you, I expect you to do something for me. If I do something, if I give someone some money, if I go and do this, I already know I did that. Nothing's coming back to me because it's not going to come back to me by a person. But God's always going to bless me. You know what I mean? Because I do things from my heart, not because I'm expecting. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not calculating what's owed to me or nothing like that. I would never do that. Okay. Hopefully nobody makes me that mad, but for real. Yeah, but I didn't feel like that everybody should be doing something for me. Like I don't feel like that. Yeah.
Okay, so to get into so that first time you explaining the story, this is when they bailed you out. Did you still have to do the time?
So when they bailed me out, it took about, that was May. I got sentenced in October. From the time I got arrested, they sentenced me in October. And the judge, I was gonna only do 6 months, a plea deal for 6 months
Mm-hmm.
in the House of Correction. It was a state case. I got indicted.
Yeah.
I had to go to Superior Court, but they didn't make me go to Framingham. They put me at South Bay
Oh, okay.
because, it's like nobody felt I belonged here in the first place.
Yeah.
So I don't have the story of, a lot of people from our community is
Yes.
they give you too much
Harsh
time. They don't
time.
give you no chances, no second chance, no just this one time kind of thing. You don't get any of that. You know what I mean? So I didn't have that story. I'm grateful. But that prosecutor lady was trying to send me under the jail.
Yeah.
She was saying to me, she said, I remember in court, she was like, you ruined it for everybody. I'm like, ruined what for who? I'm going to jail for what? So basically, what pissed me off about that is because you're saying I'm a black girl and I didn't deserve this job and that other black girls don't need to, you know what I'm saying? Like I messed it up for them having jobs like this. I didn't like that because why? I didn't mess it up for anybody. If you have the knowledge to do something and you get hired, then you deserve to be there, no matter what color you are, right?
Exactly.
So because I did that, you're telling me that what you gonna call them people and tell them never hire another black girl? Like, what was that about? So she pissed me off.
Nah, you probably ruined her scheme. She probably was, you know what I'm saying? She probably was on to that.
It wasn't cool. I didn't like that, but she hated me. She wanted me to go to jail to 5 years in Framingham. She was fighting really hard, that lady. I don't even know her name, but if I seen her, I would know. And I do not like that lady. And I thought her hair was ugly too.
Oh man.
She had the ugly old hairstyle. I didn't like her.
Yes.
And every time in court, she would be talking so horribly about me. Like, golly, this lady's racist as heck, I thought. You know what I mean? But, that's their job or what they got to do as a prosecutor, right?
Yeah.
So she didn't win that, but we did do an agreement that I would do 6 months in the House of Corrections and I would do 3 years probation.
Okay.
So I went to, but what they also did is give me time to handle my affairs. So I didn't even go into jail until I was sentenced in October, but I didn't go in until January. So during that time, I was working at New England Institute of Art as a financial aid advisor.
Yep.
Then I did a music conference. I did all this stuff before I went in.
Yep, we definitely gonna get into your music stuff. Okay.
So I went to prison. I went to South Bay in January, and I was out before. Before April.
3 months, right?
I did 3 months in it. Yeah.
Okay, so what did you spend your time in prison doing? Was it? I mean, not prison, jail. Sorry. Did you write or did you read books? Or?
I was making sure I stayed alive because it was not sweet. It was nothing cool about it. It stinks in there. It's not, you're being punished, but that doesn't mean that you gotta be living like this.
Living the worst of the worst.
You don't have to have these conditions. And I mean, it was crazy. I lied to my kids, told them I was at a women's conference for these 3 months I was gonna be gone. So I would call and speak to them every day. But I used to bring my kids with me to all the music events. Right? So my son's like, that don't make no sense because we always come. So why we can't come? And I'm like, school started. So you gotta be in school. You know what I mean? It's like it's February vacation, it's April vacation.
Yeah, everything's excuse for you, right?
Yeah, and I was just lying to them like crazy. That was just crazy to do. But they were in middle school, right? And I was lying to them, and it was horrible. Like jail is no joke. I had at South Bay. I think I realized that I was actually in jail when these two ladies locked in the bathroom and had a fight.
Wow.
And I was like, this is real. This is just not on TV.
Yeah, this is crazy.
But women, though, what are y'all doing? So I just thought that was weird. But I happened to be so our cells didn't have bathrooms in them. So the bathroom was one bathroom and it was outside of the cell. And so you got to knock on the door, beg to go to the bathroom, right?
Yeah. But
it's rec time or whatever they call this stuff. So the two ladies, I guess they was from Framingham. They had beef about something. It was a white lady and a Mexican lady.
Ooh.
And so I was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Some other girls was in the bathroom. And then the Mexican girl came on and she was like, clear the bathroom. And I was thinking, I got no.
Like, I don't know what to use it. I've been trying to use this all day.
All day. Like I've been in line and everything. But I don't know how this go, you know what I mean? But she was like, clear the bathroom. So this other girl, she was telling me, she was like, they about to do something. Let's get out of here. And I'm like, all right. So I'm out. They locked the door. And the two girls in there, and I'm watching them from the window. I go in the room, and because I didn't know what was going on, everybody else knew what was up.
They was ready.
Yeah, they was ready. So I'm in the room, and I'm just looking out the window. Why everybody's in the window?
Yeah.
And I look, and they start banging in the bathroom. Like, I mean, she had her up against the door.
Yeah.
And I started to cry. You know, because I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I can't believe, you know, somebody needs to help her. Like, where's the people?
Because that ain't stopping till, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they locked in the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I was crying, I said to myself, I said, I'm in jail. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm in jail. This is jail.
Yeah.
And that was just yucky. It was nasty. I mean, there was blood. It's just crazy. Then you got the CERT team come in, the dogs come in. We're in jail. Where are we going? What about if there's dogs are barking? And what if they come? You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy. I had two roommates. I had these two roommates, these OG fiends roommates. They knew each other from the street. So it's like, that was wild. They had me on the punk bunk. I'm up at the top. I just want to look down. I don't know, whatever y'all. I think this is the perfect
spot for me.
Because I can see everything that's going on down here. Nobody's coming up here, right?
Facts.
And I think the third day is when I was asleep and I thought, rain. I hear rain.
Yeah.
Water. I'm like, oh my God, there's a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah.
I wake up. It's the lady sitting on the sink in the room peeing in there.
Whoa. Oh my goodness. I know you was like, I can't wait to get up out of here.
It's like I woke up and because I'm thinking that the ceiling is.
Yeah, something's coming down.
Yeah.
Or like you know what I'm saying?
I thought it was the ceiling, and I look, and she's just propped up on it. I said, oh my God.
I gotta get up out of here.
Oh my God.
I thought you was about to say they sharpen up their shanks.
Oh,
no.
Listen.
No, I didn't see that. But, you know, the way that people are treated in prison is, I mean, again, okay, you committed a crime. Mm-hmm. You're being punished. You're being punished already from being taken away from, you know, society. Yeah. Right? It doesn't mean that when you go into prison that you should be treated inhumanely.
Nah, facts.
You know what I mean?
Fair,
but,
yeah,
you have to think some people take those jobs so that they can be in control of other people's lives. And then there's some people who are there just to have a job and get paid. Yep. You know what I mean? And then there's some people who really do care. But those are far and few in between.
Okay. So when you got the news, like you was doing 3 months, like how?
Well, I was 6 months when I got the news. I was doing 6. I was really happy. Anything better than 5.
Yeah, anything better than 5.
Anything's better than 5. Anything was better. And then when they even sweetened it even more and was like, I'm not going to frame. I already know I was dead if I'm going to frame him. Like, I don't know.
It's crazy.
You already, you hear stories about, framing him, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, I ain't gonna survive it. I don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah. But when I didn't have to go to framing him, when they gave me the 6 months, it was like they giving me a chance.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that. But counting 3 months down was a long time.
Mm-hmm. It was. That's a long time.
Like they could have just told me that whole experience, me being there that one night and having no bail, that was enough.
Yeah. You was ready to go.
I was ready to go. But I mean, it was, and then I get to South Bay, and a girl I went to Sudbury with was my CO.
Wow.
Like, oh, she's gonna tell everybody.
Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah, she's gonna tell everybody, and she did. She did. But
why?
I mean, it is what it is.
Yep.
That's something that I did. I'm not ever gonna deny or try to make anything seem sweet. I did what I did, and that's exactly what it was.
Your story's your story.
It is what it is. And,
man, you had the balls to just do something a lot of people wouldn't.
A bad camera, man. We gotta get one. Gotta get a new one. But what was you saying, G? What was your question?
I think he was saying that I did something a lot of people wouldn't do. I took a risk that a lot of people wouldn't take the risk of doing, and I did. But what I felt like, what I know that I should have done was I should have let people know. I should have let somebody know what was happening to me. Mm-hmm. Inside what was happening, like not what you could see, but I should have went to talk to someone. I should have asked for help, and I didn't do that because for me, doing something crazy was more prideful than asking for help. Yeah. And, that wasn't a good choice. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a good choice. But this is, these are the things that made me who I am, like all the experiences that I have.
Yeah.
I was growing into this person that was going to live a life like this without asking for help. You know, and and that happened for many years. I mean, I'm still really feeling like a person who I don't ask them for, what I mean?
I feel you.
Yeah, I still feel like that in some ways, but when it comes to like harmful things, emotional things or whatever, I do have a great support system that I'm able to talk it out. Like, a bunch of me and my crazy family members, we all talk crazy to each other, our crazies to each other. We are the functional, dysfunctional people that you could ever meet.
Yeah.
And these are my best friends. So I don't sound crazy for the way that I feel or something, because they've experienced it the same way, in our family, and we use each other as a support system to get through these tough times mentally.
Yes.
And I appreciate that, because it's something I didn't really do with them before, because they put me on this pedestal of Yana has all the answers. She always knows what to do.
So you felt that pressure.
Yeah. So it was kind of like, I can't let them down. Like I need to be that person all the time, but I'm not always that person.
Yeah.
And as they've gotten older, they see, yeah, girl, you was doing nothing. You weren't supposed to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I love that they call me out on these things. Where I didn't have that before.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get out, you know.
I got out. Life was hard. It wasn't easy, but I still own my house.
Yes.
I still have my house. I'm now going to be on probation for 3 years. I'm now a person who has a criminal background. I'm just like, oh man, where can I work now? What am I going to do? So that was a hard adjustment, because now it's like I'm going to really have to start at the bottom somewhere.
Yeah, like say you was splurging as you was getting them, so you wasn't really racking
saving.
up nowhere.
No, so it's like I didn't really So there was, it was like you got to come home and find a job that who's gonna let me in the door with a record. I didn't think about that. I didn't really consider that as a consequence.
Yeah,
I'm fresh out of this situation, so. There's no wait 5 years, 3, none of that stuff. It's you have a record, where you're going to be able to work. But I kept trying. I kept trying to find jobs, and I did end up finding me a job that I could work that was, going to help to maintain things a little bit. But my personal life didn't change. There was still a monster to feed.
Yeah.
None of those things changed. I think while I was in South Bay, everything was good while I was there, but about a month after I came home, it turned crazy. Yeah. So it was a lot of pressure. And I dealt with it.
Yes.
I dealt with the pressure. I wasn't able to support the pressure, but I did my best that I could do just to keep my family together and keep us afloat.
Yes.
So I worked and I kept working and making sure my sons were straight and that we remained in our house.
Yep.
And that was tough. So while being on probation, the probation officer was a pain in my neck.
Yep.
I don't have to deal with people telling me what to, I'm not doing this. I think
reporting to them.
Yeah, and then he was telling me I had to do community service.
You wasn't feeling it.
I had to do community service, and the community service was, when he told me this, I couldn't stop laughing because I was not doing that. He told me, the trial court van will meet you at the court in Brockton, right? And then you get on this, and they'll bring you to the highway, and you will clean up the trash on the highway. I said, and it's so crazy. I just can only laugh at myself, y'all. I'm so sorry. I said, I'm sorry. I can't do that.
Hell no.
That's not one of my options.
Clean that highway.
Please.
I'm like, look, my kids play sports.
Yeah.
I can't be outside and their friends and their friends' parents see me
Look at
doing
y'all
that.
mom.
Yeah, look at y'all this mom. I can't have my kids see me do that. I'm like, I can't do that.
Nah, for real.
He was like, you don't have a choice. I'm like, there has to be something else someone can do without being humiliated.
For sure.
You can't just want people to be humiliated. Like, I could find something that is a little bit, gives me some humility, some form of respect. You want me to stand on the highway so someone just throw a cup of water on me or something like that.
Word, and then I still got to pick it up. That's, why do we have to do things? So now that I'm out of prison, you still want me to suffer. Yeah.
You already put my face on the news. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in the newspaper. I know what can I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So me and him, we argued about it. He's like, you could be sent back to prison. And I said, well, at least my kids won't see me picking up trash on the street. You know, at least I won't embarrass my kids any further.
Yeah.
You know, they're already embarrassed, you know? So I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
He would have me come to his office and like do folders or whatever like that. But he just was like, yeah, you're too much to deal with. I don't even know why you're here. Just, you know.
Go ahead.
So he just let me go. So I didn't ever finish that community service. I never finished it. I wasn't doing no trash. I wasn't doing that.
So you end up getting another job, right?
Yep. So I was working in like Braintree I was doing data entry. And so I worked that through my probation. Then my probation was over.
Yep.
About maybe 5 years later, I was at that place for 5 years, something like that. So now it's like, okay, I have to make more money.
Yep.
I'm going back
What's
to
that,
higher
5
education.
years after?
Yeah, so my 2 cases, and I think people are confused by that. So my first case was like in 2004, 2005. My next case was not until 2012.
Oh, okay.
So it didn't happen. Yeah, it didn't happen right, you know,
Right.
fast.
You wasn't.
Well,
like,
actually, it was 2000. So the case actually began with investigation in 2011.
Okay.
Or 2000. Now I forget. It's one of the 2011,
One of the two.
2012. Right.
They
I
can
was
read the
sentenced-
article.
You can read the article. I was sentenced in 2013 for the second case.
Okay.
And I went into federal prison. It was a federal case, and I went into federal prison 2014. So that was that. So what ended up happening is I left the data entry job.
Yep.
I got a job at, I don't like to call them, it's not a college, you know, it's
Trade.
a trade school, like a
Yep.
trade, right? So it was mostly, if you're going, say you're on unemployment, you want to extend your unemployment.
Yeah.
Here's these people charging you damn near $15,000 to learn Microsoft Word or medical coding and stuff like that,
Okay.
right? So you go there for a couple of months and you get a certificate. So it's like, all right, cool. It's down the street from my house. It doesn't matter if I have a car, because I was traveling to Quincy every day on a commuter rail, you know, train.
It's a
commuter.
lot.
It was a lot, because I was out in Brockton at the time. That's where I purchased my house. And it was good. I was going to be making almost double what I was making and doing the data entry. Feeling like I'm a person again, you know, that I'm smart, I'm doing something, and it was great, you know, getting back into a career role, right? This job did not, I would have probably, you know, if they had did a background check or asked the question or whatever, I probably would have been like, no, because I wouldn't have done it, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't ask the question. The lady hired me while I was already there, you know, and
Yeah, the way you
Started
talk,
working there.
bro, your tone.
yeah,
you
like
know?
I don't sound like I'm a
Yeah,
criminal. Like,
not
what
bad.
do criminals sound like though?
Yeah, what?
Right? You know, just like they say, you don't look like you. Well, what does a person that look? You know, what does
Nah,
that
for
look?
real.
What does
What
that
does that
person
look like?
sound? You know, what does pain look like to you?
Nah, for real.
What does trauma look like to you? You know, and that's the problem with society, like, because people are so focused on, well, it should look like this. Well, yeah, no, so just because you have dreads, what does that mean about you? You know
Yeah,
what I'm
nah,
saying?
that's true.
What
That's
does that
true.
mean? What does that mean? Like, yeah, just because I say ask and not ask doesn't mean, you know, doesn't mean that
I mean, we don't get out.
that I wouldn't, you know, it doesn't mean that I won't do something that could jeopardize my freedom.
Facts.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? And that's the problem with the way society is, because you think that these people in these corporate offices are not jeopardizing their freedom.
Yeah.
You know, they just know how to do it better.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
know
They
how to
definitely
it,
do.
You know, so I went and I was hired at the job as a financial aid advisor. Again, it would have nothing to do with checks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the law would be you're giving out the fund, so you can't give out and take.
Yes.
You can't do the both, right? So that's a whole nother office that they didn't even have at this school.
Yeah.
Right? So I didn't even care about how that worked. I just know what my job was, right? Just
Knew
know
what
my
you
job
had to
was.
do.
Right. So I was there for a couple of years also. And then, you know, I see how their system was working. I'm like, but they get checks in here. I'm not supposed to be getting checks in here, right? I'm like, okay, you know, a year goes by, almost 2 years go by, and I figured out another scheme. It's different though. It's different because this is what I did there. I'm so crazy, y'all, right? So what I did there was you have a lot of adult people who are adult learners.
Yes.
That have been out of the school system for many years or whatever. So, not everyone knows what to do. But that was the majority of the students there. So if the school costs, say, $9,000 or whatever, I'm just throwing this out there because those numbers would be wrong. So school's $9,000. I'm sorry. You get approved for, say, $15,000 for loan. So, you don't have to take all of it. You can just use what you need to pay for school, right? But that money is available for you if you want to request the refund, right? So nobody was requesting it. It's like people didn't have that knowledge. So here, me and my scheming self come with, so they don't even know. Right? So I would tell sir, when they would come in and apply, I would let them know that they can, if you need additional money for your housing expense, whatever it is, like if there's things you need to do, go ahead and you request all of the funds that you need. I was educating them in this, right? Then there would be a large majority of people who would come in and be denied coming to school because back in 10 whatever years ago or however they did school, but they never paid their loans, so they were in default. So I would get on the phone with the lenders with them. This is not part of my job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to help people, right? So I get on the phone with them, let them, go through the loan process of, all right, you do 3 payments here, then you'll be back in good standing, and now you could get, lending again. So I would bring a lot of people through this process. Right? Again, like I said, I got a mortgage now. My sons are getting bigger. They're in high school.
Things got to get paid.
The monster's still there. And I'm not calling the person a monster. I'm calling addiction a monster.
Yes.
It's still going on. Even worse. This is triple times worse than it was back before. It was a lot of stuff going on, right? But again, that wasn't the answer. What I chose wasn't the answer, and it didn't fix anything. Because that wasn't the answer to it. That wasn't the answer to the problem, but that's what I did. So what I would do then is, I would wait for a person to be there for a certain amount of time, and knowing, all right, they didn't ask, so I'm just gonna ask for them. I'm just gonna ask for them, and then I see that it's gonna come here, and then it'll just be here, and then they come and get it, which wasn't supposed to be happening. That's not how it's supposed to go. But, however, that's what I did. And I continued to do that. Now, this was on a way smaller scale than before.
Yes.
Yeah, it was on a way smaller scale. But, again, I betrayed people's trust. I abused the power and the position that I had. I was sneaky. I created a scheme. And I stole money. That's what I did. I stole these checks. And I didn't do much different from what I did before. Put them in my own bank account, and then I might have used some other people's accounts to put them into. But that's what I did. But it was a much smaller scale, and I did that for a little while. And just like any other time, one check.
One doubt.
The girl called me before I was leaving on my trip. She called and said she didn't get her check. So it's like, all right, so what would happen is I would have to, this person now wants their money, so now I got to go fix it by taking someone else's so that they could get a check and then switch this thing around.
Hold up. I hope it ain't that girl from the documentary.
Cool, which one?
What was that girl that was talking?
On mine?
Yes.
On mine?
On yours.
You're talking about
What's
Astrid?
her name? Yeah,
Yes.
Astrid.
Yeah, Astrid. Astrid was one. Now, and Astrid was my sister's friend.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, Astrid was my sister's friend. Yeah, so it's like I knew her. I knew her. But yeah, it was something like that with Astrid. I actually used Astrid's to make someone, to fill somebody else's up.
Yeah.
Right? And she didn't know about it, obviously, so it's not like nobody knew what I was doing. You know what I mean? And so I had to use her to fix this one. But she's not the one who called, because it wasn't, nobody knew.
Yeah.
It was this other girl who called. And I'm like, the check will be ready on Monday.
Yeah.
Right? But she called back again when I was not there.
So that.
Right. So that is how this happened. So that was the trickling effect. Her little $500. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even remember how much it was. But she it was that started the investigation.
Yes.
So when I was away, so I was in the Bahamas, and while I was away, one of my bank accounts. Like, I don't know why this card is declined because there's a lot of money in there. So I don't know why, but it was declined. And I'm like, all right. So I was using my other bank account. I didn't know what the issue was. So I think on that Monday morning,
Yes.
my son called me. He's like, Ma, the people came in. I'm like, what people?
Yeah.
He's like, the FBI. He's like, the letter people came. I'm like, oh, wow, what did they want? They want to talk to you about. He's like, Ma, what did you do? And I'm like, oh, my goodness. So you all just don't open the door for nobody, don't open the door, don't talk to anyone. I had to call my sister, go over there, and it was just a mess. So one of the bank accounts was frozen, so I knew that when my son called, I was like, okay, so there's an investigation.
Yep.
It's about to get crazy, but I didn't know how crazy it was. Like the FBI, they should have came the first time, not this time. You know what I mean?
Like they came strong.
She got us again.
Yeah.
The
Word.
FBI. So it was like, wow, this sucks. And so I was on vacation. I was leaving the next day, and my other bank account was still working. I guess they didn't know that there was, their investigation hadn't gotten to that one yet.
That part, yes.
Yeah, so it just sucks. My son was, my youngest son, he was moving into, I went on vacation because the next week he was going to be moving into college. So my oldest son went to community college.
Yep.
And then my youngest son was going to be living on campus. So there was a whole different, that's a whole different thing. He's going to be moving in and all these things. I had bought him this little old Integra, this little old Act in his high school.
Yeah.
And had everything ready for him to move in. And it was...
Just all came...
I when I came home, I made sure no matter what he was moving into.
Yeah, you made sure
he's going into college.
college.
So we sold the car. We sold the car so I could get, some more stuff for him. But, I moved out of we had lost the house at this point.
Yes.
In 2010, 2011, was upside down on that house. That house was just killing me. I couldn't do it by myself. And it was killing me, but I was doing it. But I wasn't able to be consistent with really carrying it. Yeah, but I was like, my kids have to graduate out of this house. I have to at least give that to them.
Yes.
For putting them through all these things. So that was his last year, but we ended up losing the house. But we only were living across the street. Like, literally, we could see the house from there.
Yeah.
But it was his last year. And he was moving into school. And here I am now under investigation with the FBI this time. And it was crazy. I know my sons were scared for me.
Yes.
They were scared. Obviously, they didn't know what was going to happen. They didn't, it's just crazy. So I had them living crazy for a long time in their life.
They stuck with you.
Yeah, and they stick with me. And then the feds come.
Yep.
And they were questioned. They were questioned. And my family, it's just
questioned
a mess.
Everybody.
It's a mess. It's a mess because you know what? You do something and you just want to be responsible for it.
Yeah.
But then everybody's affected by the thing that you do.
Yeah.
It's not just, when someone kills someone, your whole family's affected. When you go to prison, your whole family's affected. Any of your loved ones that are going to be supporting you, they're affected even worse than you are.
Yes.
Because when you go inside, they still outside. They have to live the everyday life. They have to figure out how they're going to pay all the bills. And then,
especially if you're the backbone of...
Right.
Yes.
Right. So
hard.
that was a very hard hit. But with feds, it takes a while for the cases to, so it took a little bit, but it was a struggle. It was a struggle. They didn't tell me, it's like I talked to the guy and I'm like, okay, so when am I going to get arrested then?
Yeah.
And he was like, we're still investigating, Miss Bean, so just keep checking in with us. I'm like, well, can I go to work? What can I do? I didn't know,
what
can I do? Not obviously to that job.
Yeah, but
what can I what can I do with my life right now and while your investigation is going on? So, now I don't have nowhere to live. I'm living at my sister's house. It just was crazy. It was crazy, but it was okay because my son was living on campus. Yes. Right. And then my other son's adult now. He had his own situation. So it was like, all right, cool. They're safe.
Yeah.
Right. Only I'm crazy. Right. They never told me when they were going to arrest me. I didn't know nothing. I didn't
So
meet
you
with
had to
anybody.
wait.
I had to wait. I was figuring out lawyer, what we going to do. I didn't have no money. Everything's done. So I would just check in with them every
often.
just keep checking in. When are you guys going to come talk to me? Like, I'm ready to get this over with.
Like, let's,
Yeah.
you know?
So again, it took all this time. I started working. I'm, living my life. And they come to arrest me in 2013. This is almost 2 years after.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so you had to do an investigation for all this time. It was actually 2012, I believe, at the end. No, it was 2013. Definitely was. 2013, I was arrested and arraigned. They came to my job in the morning when I was supposed to be leaving the next day on a trip. And they came to my job. It was like a whole bunch of them. They came in like I was Griselda.
Yeah, like you. Wow.
They came to my job. I swear to God, and I was thinking like, this is insane the way they spend our money.
Yeah.
Like I'm one person. I'm at work. What is these hundred of people here?
Yeah, all you need is 2 people.
Yeah, and they wasn't like the other guys. They was not trying to say, we're going to put our jacket over you. We're going to cuff you up and walk you out.
They had snipers on the roof.
People, they grab you. And
They came, grabbed me. He was like, Miss B, it was the same guy that I had been talking to. So he wasn't like rough with me or anything.
Yeah.
He was like, we're gonna cuff you up, okay? And I'm like, all right. Can I call my sister, get in my bag and bring my stuff? And my cousin worked close by, so I had called to let her know like she could come pick up my things. Cause I had, I was about to go on a trip the next day, so I had a couple of $1,000s in my envelope. And he was like, "And where did this come from?" I'm like, it's right there. It says right here everything come from. This is my money. I don't do, this is not that. You know what I mean? So they brought me over. They had like all the black SUVs out in front of the job. Like I'm going on like I'm the president.
Yeah.
Yeah, and put me in the car. Now, from downtown, it was only by South Station. They did all of that to bring me around the corner to the Fed court. All of those people. So I go over there, and I'm there for like an hour or two. They let me go on my own personal, so I didn't have this big bill or nothing, but they let me go and took my passport. I was really pissed because I was leaving to go to the Bahamas. Right?
You ready to go.
I was ready to go, but they took my passport and, and I was out of there and I was glad that I didn't have a bail because I don't know, you know what I mean? But I was working all that time, being on my feet, trying to figure things out. And they came and it was time to face, what I did, time to face the music. And so, that's what happened. I went in there and it took all this time. It took a while. Went in there in 2013. Same as my last case. They sentenced me in October of 2013 and gave me until January to go in. Yeah. And I was sentenced to a year and a day and 3 years of probation.
A year and a day.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so did you, so this time around going into prison, did you have a plan coming out like, okay, this is what I'm going to do when I'm going to get out so that I make sure I don't fall into that, to that spiral again?
Well, yeah, like at this time, I always been a business-minded person. So, just a couple of things that I wanted to do, but I just didn't, know how to do at the time. So I prepared myself to learn how to, put business into effect. Going into federal prison is way different than being down the street at South Bay. Right. I'm going to Lexington, Kentucky. To a prison camp. Like I'm not expecting to see. I didn't have visits when I was at South Bay just because I didn't want my kids or my family to see me that way in the first place. But going to knowing that you're gonna be so far that you really can't even have the option to, like, why would I have my family try to figure out airline tickets for them to come and then stay the weekend? That's just crazy. Yeah. Right. So I would never put any pressure like that on my family. But I really, 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 at this time, the worst thing ever is because my sons are now adults. Yeah. So my fear was either they'll be in prison too, or if they'll even be alive when I come home.
So you were scared.
So I was in fear my whole entire time from the time I was sentenced. I just didn't know because now they've been through the same things that I've been through.
Yes.
They can make the wrong decisions too, and now they're considered to be men. You know what I mean? And You know, they've seen the way that I live. They've seen the things that have gone on in our life. And, you know, the streets is out there and they have friends and they have, you know what I mean? And this was my fear. Like, I had no control over decisions that they would be making. I'll be gone for all this time and I'll be far away.
Yeah.
And I don't trust nothing out there in the world for my sons.
Facts. But you being there.
But me.
Yeah, I could imagine just leaving kids behind. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. It
was tough.
For me. It was very tough. Like, I didn't call home a lot because I didn't even want to hear, like, the voices. So I was glad of the email, even though it was taking, like, hours for responses and stuff like that. But I would really probably call, like, maybe twice a month. And if they wanted me to call sooner, like, they would email, like, you need to call home or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but when I left, my sons and my sister, they drove me to the bus station because I was also, again, I didn't have, you know, the law wasn't bad with me.
Yeah.
They let me, they weren't bad with me at all. I got a year and a day. I could have got way more than that.
Yeah.
And then they let me, you know, take my own self. So I didn't have to get cuffed up on an airplane or however they transport other inmates or whatever. I was able to make my own transportation to go to the prison.
Wow.
Obviously, you didn't get the same judge, right?
No, and the judge I had was Judge Ball, where, like, I owe that lady my life. I feel like, you know, she's one of the judges who care about people.
Yes.
You know, and so she doesn't look at the crime; she looks at the person. You know.
Yes.
And I think everyone that I know that has had her has had the same experience with her. Yeah, but she's, like, I think retired this year or something like that. So it's like, oh God, they're gonna be left with that other man.
Oh man, listen.
They're left with that other man. It's no breaks, no shorts. So I was fortunate again. You know, I traveled. My kids and my sister brought me to the bus, and when I got on that Greyhound, I was just, like, looking at them out the window. It's just like a, you know, whatever violins play at the most saddest movie you ever heard of. Yeah. That's how I felt.
Titanic.
Yeah, it was going down. Yeah, watching my kids drive away from me getting on a bus going to jail. Yeah,
It was tough.
it was really tough because I just knew, like, this. I don't know. I just didn't think anyone. But that's another problem with thinking that you're in control of things. You're not in control of other people. You're not in control of even the things that are happening to you.
Facts.
Right? So it was, I think that I'm making these things happen, or I'm the reason why. It's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not in control of that.
Facts.
So I had to understand that when I was on that bus ride of giving up the thought that I could be in control of what happens to my kids when I'm not there. Like, and I should have thought about that when I made these choices to end up with these type of consequences.
Yes.
You know, and had I thought of that, I wouldn't have done nothing like that.
So
At all.
So the second time around, right? You ain't make no research. Like, okay, this might be my second
My points.
offense. Yeah, like
No, not really. I didn't. I knew about the point system, but I didn't know how many points I was going to have. So, you know, I would read the points, but it's like you don't really know until they let you know what you're going to, you know, what you're going to get. So my points was, so when I did know that my points was low enough for probation, I was like, well, they could give me probation.
Facts.
But it was like, you're not getting probation. You're going to jail. Like, but if you could just if you're only going to give someone this amount of time, then what's the difference? Like, I was in the feds with a lady who had to do 30 days. What was the point of that?
Yeah, you should have just
In the feds.
put her probation or something.
Right. But it's like, you know, they got to do what they got to do.
To hassle you.
Right. And so a year and a day was better than 5 years. It's better than 10. It's better than anything else, right? So I went to go do my time.
So you said you are sorry, but
That's
you said
okay.
you made peace with it.
I made peace with it. I made peace with it when I was on the bus. I just was saying to God, like, I think my bus ride was like 22 hours or something like that, 19, something like that. It was a long time I was gonna be on a bus. I just told God I just wanted peace. I just wanted peace, and, you know, whatever I had to do to get peace, just to bring me there.
Yeah.
You know, and on that bus ride, I had already, you know, it wasn't crazy to me like when South Bay, like I didn't feel paranoid. I didn't feel, you know, like.
But it's a long ass bus ride.
Yeah,
bro.
you know, it's a long bus ride, but I could have jumped off the bus. You know what I mean? I could have got off the bus. I didn't, you know, if someone allows you to go there, that's like, are you really going to go? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You know, are you really going to go? If you get scared enough or like keep talking to yourself enough to say, yo, I'm not going, then you'll get off the bus.
Yeah.
In another state, you go, look how many states you're going through. Like, you can jump off the bus like, hey, you disappear.
Yeah, for real. For real.
But it's like I didn't do that. Like, I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? So I was on that bus to Kentucky. I got there, and when it was time to go in the doors, I was ready to go in the doors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was ready to get this over with.
Yeah.
You know, it had been years now, and I'm just ready to be done.
Yes.
And I was like, you know, I'm just kind of tired. Like, you know, by the time I went there, like, my life and trying to make, you know, things look right and people happy and help, you know, I kind of was drained of it already. You know, I was drained. So by the time I got to jail, like, my life was already in a direction of changing. Yeah. My personal life was, you know. And I went to jail, and I knew I'd be in there. I don't want to, you know, talk to nobody really. I didn't want to hear from home like that. I just wanted to make sure my sons was good and talk to them.
And handle your time.
And just do my time and, you know, come home.
So the second time, right? I don't know if I'm gonna use that word right. Accumulated, you accumulated. The second time more than the first time, right?
Of what you mean accumulated what?
As in like how much you made profitable wise.
No, the first time was the most.
First time was the most?
Yeah, the first time was the most, and this time was not.
Second time wasn't?
Yeah. Okay. No, but the consequences were much higher.
Yeah, higher.
Yeah, they were much higher, not because of the dollar amount, though.
Okay.
You know, just because, you know, Emerson could have made it a federal case. You know what I mean? They could have.
Yeah.
It's federal funds.
Yeah.
By the way, if it's secured by FDIC or whatever, that would have been the first one, right? This was federal funds distributed by actually the feds.
Yeah.
So that made it federal right away.
And I know they always be trying to make things sound like worse than it really is. Like I know obviously you seen your documentary. Is it like
BET,
precise,
make sure y'all go watch
is
it.
it like a little bit you know?
You know, I didn't watch it all of
Yeah,
it,
not
right?
yet.
No, I didn't really watch it, but I mean, I was sitting there giving them the information, giving information. I don't know if they. I'll tell you what I did. What they did that I didn't tell them that. I think there was a part in there where like they had the dude like shooting up or something, and that nobody said that.
Yeah.
Nobody said that. No, that wasn't what happened. I never seen that before, and that's not what he was doing. So that's not, you know, that was incorrect. But I think that the perception was that that's what, you know, he was doing. That wasn't the case at all. And I didn't tell them what he was doing or nothing. So they just ran with whatever they felt like. Yeah. I think that's the only thing.
Just put a little taste to it.
Yeah, but you know, because I don't think. See, even sitting here with you guys, right? I'm a person who probably, you know, I don't give everything.
Yes.
So people be wanting the juice, and it's like I don't care about the juice. I care about what's real.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And if you want juice, you gotta really ask me, and I gotta really be comfortable. But I don't really like. You have to think of like this. You know, my sons are out here.
Yeah.
You know, and people are people. Yeah. And I'm not gonna. I don't. Never be an intention of mine to dog anybody or bring anyone down or to diminish them because of any problem they may have.
Absolutely.
Right? Because everybody has a problem.
Absolutely.
And I would never, that was not my intention to. I might have probably made it like that because I was mad at him at the time.
Yeah.
You know? But I didn't say, but that, like those things, those reenactments, I had nothing to do with those reenactments. You know, it's like they create that stuff.
Yeah.
Where you see me sitting and talking, that's the only thing you could say I said because that's what I'm
you.
saying is coming from me. Other people that I had in there, most of those people that were on the episode, like they didn't even know what I was doing. They never even knew. They didn't know I went to jail.
Yeah.
Like I didn't tell my friends I went to jail.
Yeah.
You know, like they didn't know until. So some of them was like, when I had to call my friend, like, you want to be on BET for me? It's just like, for what? I'm like, okay, so remember back so-and-so why I went to jail? It's like, what? You went to jail?
So now you had to break that whole thing down.
So, you know, it's kind of like people didn't know that. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was happy and proud of something like that. Like, I'm way too smart for the stupid decisions that I made. And just because you make the same mistake once, twice, 500 times or whatever, doesn't mean that It doesn't mean anything. The same thing as your grandmother would tell you, well, however many times it takes you to hit your head for you to learn a lesson, that's how many times it takes you. For some people, it takes 100, for some it takes once.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
So you can't really go by that. And for whatever anybody's doing that's not good for them, hopefully they no longer do it before it's too late.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't dog anybody for anything like that. It wasn't my intention to make it seem like that. Like, just like I said, my sons are out here. They they love their father.
So,
As they should. As they should.
You know what I mean?
Love you. I love my pops. Shit.
Yeah. No matter what, you don't know what. I don't know what my father did to my mother. I don't know what she did to him.
Facts.
But I wouldn't love them any less.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't love them any less.
Okay. So before we get up out of it, we got a few more questions for you. But you also dabbled in the music business as well, right? So what was you doing in the music business?
I was learning it, and as I was learning it, I thought, because I'm like a business-minded person, I like reading paperwork and all that kind of stuff, that I would manage people.
Yes.
So that's what I felt like my role was going to be. So, and I like to teach people stuff. So it was like, okay, so this is what you got to do to be this and that and how you establish yourself. So it was just kind of like that. But at that time, in our market, everyone was just really getting into it. So we all needed the knowledge. But I happened to be at Emerson at a school where I had access to, the radio station was there, and, I was meeting people, and I was able to learn other stuff. So on top of that, I would go out of the state to go to different places to get like in the mix with things. So I go to like Billboard, learn how to do touring and all that kind of stuff. I go to different things to learn the business, and I would bring that information back home and to people that also were in
the music
trying
business.
to get into it. Yeah.
And did you manage artists?
Yeah, I managed Last Days.
Yep.
That was one of the artists.
Shout out to Last Days. Yeah. Definitely want to get him up on here.
Yeah, he's so crazy. Yeah, he definitely would do it. Last Days is who I managed, and then I feel like I just consulted a lot of other people.
Yes.
But him and I we got into it. Like we were in it. We were on the road together. We were in offices together. We were really doing the work as artists.
And he's doing his thing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we learned the same, type of thing. So I hope the things that he's doing are things that we learn together. They are a lot of things we learn together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the music business like when you was on the scene? What would you say it was like?
It was wild.
Yes. Yeah.
It was wild, but it was fun. So there was like a lot of people that are still in the business today.
Yep.
Are people that were starting out when I was learning it, like Jeezy,
Yep.
Gucci Mane, T-Pain, like a lot of people.
Yes.
And
you've met all of them.
Yeah, I met all of them. And going to these events, it would be like I started getting invited to industry like events where nobody knows about this event, or you have to know people to know people to get in. And there's no red carpet, like, red velvet rope. You can't come over here, nothing. Everybody, we chilling just like this together.
Yes, because everybody got that invite.
Right, because everybody's here. Like, everybody used to think I was somebody.
Yes.
Right? And then there would be things that I got invited to that I would come back home and bring like 20 people with me out there and, do stuff and try to make things happen and, make connects, because I'm only one person. So if there's 200 people in a room, I can't reach everybody, right?
Fact.
And then my relationship that I make with that person, you might be able to make an even doper relationship with them. So now we can hit it from both sides. And now the common denominator is this nigga know us.
Yes,
right. Right. But it would be like that. So I felt, I felt really empowered. I felt excited about being a part of such an amazing thing. Like it was dope.
It was a great feeling.
Yeah, it was dope.
How did you really get into that field though? Like, what was?
I just did it. I mean, I did research. I would go online. I would find the different places. I would know who. Like, if I would look at Billboard, they would have these different networking events, right, or trainings. So when they would have like the Billboard touring event, that was like one of the first ones I went to, right? And I would look and see. They would have listed all the people that's going to be there, and it would tell you who the VP of the, be all the label people there, whatever. And I would like, okay, I write that person's name down, know who that is, remember their face, you know what I mean? I'd be like, okay, so I need to talk when I go there. I'm sure that I see this person, you know what I mean? Okay, then I would do like ASCAP and BMI and CSAC would do events too, like There'll be different label people there. I'll get to know who everybody is.
Yeah.
Right before I get there, so that when I get there, I know, boom, I'm going to meet that person.
Yep.
That's dope.
You know, then it's like when I was out in Atlanta, same thing. Okay, who's on this? Who's here? Who's this? I would know who it was. I would go and make my way. Introduction, networking.
But how that come about? Did you just wake up one day and just like,
No,
yo,
it was
I'm gonna
like-
just do?
Yeah, so I had some friends who had a label
Okay.
in Boston,
Okay.
and so they were doing stuff, and I was just like, nah, I don't know. I don't think you should do this. Like, let's look at this, you know. So I started getting into it like that. Yeah, and then I would do showcases here, and you know, just kind of connect the dots, just like create things. Like we didn't have certain things, so I'm like, well, we don't have it, so create it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's tough.
Make it happen.
Yeah, just
Nah,
just
sure.
create it. So all the things that I saw in the places that I was going to learn these things, I'm like, if I brought that back home and have all the label people and all that stuff, so I created a music
they
conference.
will see our talent.
And that's what I did. Learned all that information, used all the networking that I did with the different labels, the different connects, and I created an event. It was the first one I did was Mass Urban Music Network, and I created this event where it would be showcased here, and there'll be panel discussions with different label heads and different entities of the record labels.
Yep.
James Roseman or Jimmy Henchman was my keynote speaker. Like
Oh,
Clinton
wow.
Sparks was there. I had a whole lot of people came. Yeah, I had a representative from every major label that there was, and
That's dope.
it was something that just that thought of me wanting to bring back what I
Yes.
was learning to be able to have everyone else.
Yes.
Learn the same way too, because not everybody was able to fly out to these things, and the registrations for some of these events are like $500-600. You know what I mean? So not everybody could do that. So I was like, if I could bring that home, just what do? You just rent a space, and then you just call people, ask them if they want to come, and they come because they want to find new talent too, and this is how you put it together.
Facts.
So that's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also wrote a book, right?
Yes.
Okay. A Year in a Day is what
A
it's
year
called.
in a day. Everything
okay.
is a year in a day.
Yeah.
That's where I woke up.
I like it. I like it.
That was it.
So
that
which
was it.
so which one did you enjoy more, publishing a book or being in the music industry?
Music industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like a book, again, that's something that, again, facing things. Some things like I would never talk about, and I put in this book, and I was like, oh, that happened for real. You suppress trauma sometimes too. So it's like, I don't want to talk about that. But, I'm working with someone to help me get it out right because, again, like you just asked me with BET, like, how does that go? Well, I didn't want people to just look at me like at this story. I wanted people to know the person who they're looking at. It's not a TV show. It's like real life.
Yeah.
So I actually just did the book as a way to humanize me so that you're not just seeing this,
Facts.
and that was the purpose of doing it.
And how long did it take to complete?
I think I want to say less than a year, because I started out like it's a process, man. I started off working with someone to help me do it.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't in the state, so it's kind of like we would do phone calls, and I would, talk on the phone, and she would transcribe it.
Yes.
And then so I'll tell you the truth. So what she was doing is she'll send me like a chapter or two at a time, and I'll just email like, it's cool, it's cool. But I had never read it.
Mm.
And then I gave myself a deadline. So we need to have it done by this time.
Yep.
And then it was when she sent me everything, then I'm starting to read. I'm like, no, this is not, I can't, no, this is not.
Now you're not liking it.
I don't like it because all you did was transcribe what I was saying. You didn't make it into a book. You didn't make it flow like a book.
Or give me that picture feel.
You
like,
didn't
you know
do
when
that.
you read it and it feel like
like there was none of that.
Yeah.
So I cried and scrapped that whole thing because there goes another waste of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I found the lady Tiffany, who did my book cover.
Mm-hmm.
She does, that's what she does, is book publishing and teach people how to independently publish. She does graphic design and all that. So she's in the know with all the different writers and stuff like that. So she put me with another young lady who I was like, somebody has to fix this. And she actually fixed it.
Yeah.
And she fixed it by taking the transcript that was done and then speaking to me like every day and asking me questions and details of stuff. And that's how she actually got stuff out of me. You know, and so that's how the book became done.
Well, I'm gonna read it.
First person
and then
just gave you like
I could have did
newspaper.
that. Yeah, I could have did that. You know, it's like I could have did that. Yeah. You know, but I wanted to like it needs to be me.
Yes.
You know, when the other person did the book, she said, well, what do you want it to be like? I said, I want people to feel it.
Yes.
You know, I want people to feel it and to relate to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
I'm gonna give it a read. For sure. Then you're gonna have to sign
well,
it.
you don't gotta read it. No.
no, cause I'm gonna read it and then I need you to sign it for me. I need that sign. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Okay, so would you are you writing another book, or there's another book in works? Or
there's gonna be another book. So like I have a script for a movie already that's been out for a little while now. The script. So we're gonna, you know, I don't know when it's gonna go into production, but you know, there's a script already that's been done. Wow. And then I do want to write another book.
Can you say what platform it's coming out on?
Well, see, I don't know.
Okay.
Genre?
Huh?
What kind of?
It's gonna be like on my life.
Yes, the life story. Yeah.
So it'll be like official, like, you know, the way I want it to be seen, not a BET thing. You know what I mean? So it's not. I don't know what platform it's gonna be at.
Okay.
Yeah, it's independent, and that's the plan for it to be independent.
Okay.
And reason why I asked you that too is because a lot of documentaries that you find out there, you know, it don't really tell you like the whole truth.
Right.
A lot of people just make up stories as they go. They know what they know, but then they just, you know.
Absolutely. So when the script tour, it's not going to be a documentary. Well, there's a couple of things. So there is a documentary that I'll be working on, but it'll be more so not like a documentary of like that stuff. It'll be more so of
what you're doing.
Yeah, what I'm doing, how I got to doing that, and you know, just the growth of things. Yeah. Right?
Showing the Ayana 2.0.
Yeah, 2.0.
Yes.
Right, and then like the script is based off of like, you know, everything we talked about today, and you know, other things as well, like so more stuff from the book, and you know, things that are not in the book that nobody knows, you know, just stuff like that. So real things. Okay. And that's what the script is.
Are you playing your part, or are you looking for actors?
Oh gosh, actresses? I definitely won't be playing. I definitely won't be.
Maybe the beginning.
No, maybe I'll be in there like a teacher or something. Maybe I'll be the lady at the bank.
Yeah, oh, that would be cool. Okay,
you know, so something like that.
Okay, so what is Ayana up to? What is Ayana doing now?
Well, a couple of things. So I'm working on another book. Trying to get the production stuff together. Yep. I've been really focusing a lot of my time on the nonprofit organization, which is called A Year in a Day Foundation.
Shout out to that.
Yeah. So the Year in a Day Foundation. So I was doing a lot of things with it, but the focus is to teach digital literacy, business entrepreneurship. Wow. And I do advocate for, you know, like expungement clinics and quarry sealants and things like that. Okay. But to be able to connect justice impacted to resources that are needed to be able to survive, you know, pre and post prison. And if you've never been to prison, but, you know, we have a lot of family members that are, you know, just because you've never been to prison doesn't mean you're not impacted by justice. We all are that live in our areas. We're all impacted by it, right? Absolutely. So that's, you know, what I'm focusing on and working on to make it a strong foundation. So I'm at the ground level with it, but there's a lot of things that I've been doing with it. November 1st actually is going to be, will be at Harvard University. I was doing a workshop called Beyond the Bars where I was inviting different justice impacted people that have success stories to come and speak and inspire and motivate others. And now I'll be doing something similar to that at Harvard University, which is awesome. So I was invited to Harvard University to speak with Meek Mill and Wallow in the Reform Alliance organization a few months ago by a young lady named Brittany White. And from that, I started to continue to build relationships at Harvard University. And now I'll be doing the workshop there.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so I will have, so it'll be me, myself. I also have First Lady Tonisha Welch, First Lady of BMF. She's going to be a panelist, as well as another friend of mine, Sunny Smith, who is like Pink Panther Clique. She's a wealth educator. She's, out of New York. So we'll be there at Harvard on November 1st. And I hope there's going to be more series of those type of things that I can do. So, what I want people to take away from that is that, look, I was a person who, I worked in higher education. I stole money from the schools. Never think again I'd step foot in a school.
For real.
Right? And now not only am I stepping foot in a school, but I'm going to Harvard University. They opened their doors for me to be able to give back to my community based off of my experiences that I had. Not just, there's no bragging about crime.
Yeah, at all.
There's no bragging about crime, but what I will brag about today is that I didn't give up.
At all.
Yeah.
I didn't give up, and I won't give up. And, and I don't let anyone bring me down about my past or what I did. Like, it is what it is. It happened. I'm not proud of it, but I did it, and I'm not running away from it.
Yeah, but it seems like everything you put your eyes to it, you made it happen. So
yeah, even if it was bad,
good or bad,
but it's true. And if I focused more on the positive side, if I didn't have that fear, I would have continued to climb. So that's something that I love to continue to teach, is like fear stops us from doing a lot.
Yes.
Some people are afraid to even win. There's a lot of things I stopped doing because it felt like it was going so up and up.
Yes.
Like, and I stopped.
Yeah.
And had I kept going, I don't know where, would have been, but it seemed like I never actually took things to the max.
Yes.
It looked like it, and I was there, but I didn't keep going to the max.
And
That's
now
why
you're going to do that.
Yeah, that's why you can't take everything as like wrong. 'Cause
Absolutely.
Yes.
somehow, it, like I said, it builds you to what you are right now. You had to go through that mistake. If you ain't go through that mistake, you probably wouldn't have the plugs you got now.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
Or the connections, or just the things you've learned,
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm so grateful and thankful for those things. And, I'm grateful for, my family and, my sons. And now I'm a grandmother.
Wow.
So I have a grandson and a granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Shout out to them.
Man, we grateful to have you here.
Yeah, I'm grateful. Like, I get family everywhere I go.
Yes.
So I'm glad to have these experiences, and in doing these podcasts and doing radio, it is again another form of educating me.
Yeah.
It helps to train me to speak and to be in these environments and spaces. So I appreciate you all inviting me to come in, because basically you're giving me a class today.
Hey, Les, it's an honor to have you on today. For real.
You sound like you used to this.
Yeah, for real.
You might think so, but I'm taking this public speaking class.
Might have to take it with you. Listen.
Yeah. No, but it really does. And so, one thing I always say is, people say, well, you were on the Breakfast Club, so why would you go to a small place? Like, I don't think nothing's small.
Yeah, for real.
I don't think nothing's small, because you don't know where anybody's going to be. Everybody started off somewhere, and then it's like, and how selfish are you to think that it's just about them. Like, this is what I need too. You know what I mean? Because it helps to grow me, and it's not about how many people is. I hope there's nobody, because I want to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
But this is what we do. This is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to network, and you're supposed to pull each other up, and you're supposed to put each other on, because a person always remembers what you've done for them.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So I'll never forget that I was here and what you all done for me.
For sure.
And I appreciate it.
And we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to get into, we got two more questions. Okay, so it's the 50th year anniversary of hip hop. What's your favorite era? 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, or now? Mine's, to answer, I would go 90s.
90s?
Yeah, I'm a big Biggie guy.
Okay, so 90s we're saying is Biggie era. Like that.
Biggie, Pac. What's your favorite era?
I love each era.
Yes.
I have my favorites in each era, but I think that I have to go with the era that I grew up in, which was the 80s.
Okay. And
Right.
who from the 80s you was listening to?
Oh my God, Rakim.
Okay,
Rakim.
Everything.
Yeah, oh my God, and I seen him at the Rock the Bells concert. I was so
Yeah.
excited. Oh my God, I'm just like a groupie, right? Like LL Cool J, Run DMC. I come from that era.
Yes, the
Yeah.
pioneers.
Yeah, the pioneers. So
Okay.
that was all the Shea Vu songs.
Oh, really? Oh, so yeah, it definitely was rocking in the Vu. I see why you kept mentioning the
Yeah.
Vu. Okay.
Yeah, that's where all the music was.
Yeah, of course.
That's
Okay.
crazy. You see
What's
how,
your
like,
favorite era, G?
I already told you. I can't say 80s because
Yeah.
I was in,
Yeah, with
born
the
in the
90s.
80s, but 90s, early 90s. Yeah, that's my
So
favorite.
do you
era.
guys not love it now?
I love it
Yeah,
now,
Yeah.
but it's something about the
Something
90s.
about the 90s, yeah.
And I
You
think
know?
it's the mixture with hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, that was a whole that created a whole new wave.
Yes.
Whole new way.
Yeah. It created a new wave. So yeah, I would say that too. I loved it too, but the 80s would be,
That's your era.
yeah.
Okay. So what's an album you could listen to with no skips?
Any album?
Any album. It has to be one. You going on the island, you got to just take this one album.
Oh my goodness. One album I don't skip. Oh, you know which album I don't skip? The R&B singer Her.
Okay, her. You like her?
Yeah, I like her. I don't skip anything on hers.
What about SZA? You like SZA?
I didn't skip it. And this last one of hers was crazy.
The SOS, right?
This fire.
Oh
Yeah,
my
this was
goodness.
fire. Yeah.
I love that album.
Yeah, this was fire for her.
Yeah. For sure.
Because I think I didn't really care for her other one.
Yeah, I didn't hear her other one
Yeah, I
either, but
didn't
this
really-
one right here,
This
woo.
one. Oh, and Ella Mai, I like her.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes. You know you gotta represent Jason Tatum's girl, right? You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I love their voices.
Okay.
So are you still like in the music?
I consult people still too. Yes, I be still throwing people connects.
What you got for him? Because he's an artist. That's what he beating
What
around the bush. He
You
makes
an artist?
music. Yeah.
You do like you produce or you what?
He rap.
I
Rap?
rap,
Okay.
yeah.
So what have you been doing? Like, because I'll tell you right now, for me, right now is the easiest time in music.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, before, like, just think of this: to copyright, we had to send in paper.
Okay.
You could just do it
on your phone.
on your phone, right? You had to go and like I said, I had to look the people up, find them, try to bump into them.
Yep.
You can reach out to people nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Sure.
I feel like right now in this time, you also don't need labels because you have so many platforms that you're able
you
to
put yourself out
to put
on.
yourself out there. But one thing that doesn't change is marketing and promoting yourself.
Yeah.
Like and at the end of the day, you have to have a hit.
Yes. You have to.
You have to have a hit.
That's what it is.
You have to have a hit at the end of the day. But yeah, definitely if you need, just call me.
I got
put
you.
put you some places, hook you up with some people. Definitely. Yeah, but at the end of the day, your work, your music is going to speak for itself.
Yeah.
You don't have to call nobody to come to something that they already know what's up with it. You know
facts.
what I mean? They want to get
Facts.
into it. And this is what this era is right now. Like
Yep.
everyone is so independent. Like look at the people that are coming up.
Yeah.
Like they're not. Nobody went to go get them. They just out there doing their own thing,
Yeah.
and people are finding them that way.
Fact.
It's all about still networking, still try to do some shows, but you right now have the power to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And change
You
it.
really
Yeah,
do. You can make yourself whatever you want to be. You could make it that.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah, I
definitely tell you to do
believe
that.
that.
Just have your business in order, but do everything. Do everything that you're in the power to do, which is everything right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
And we back. Yes. But well, Ayana Bean, I appreciate you for coming up here on T3MU TV. You're a legend in the city. Don't let nobody tell you different, Queen. It's just amazing to see how you tripped up, things happen, and you change, and you're doing better, and you're doing way better. And we're happy to see your progress. We want to see you continue to grow and be that beautiful flower you are. You know what I mean? And just keep growing and keep going up. We can't wait to see the book, the documentary, not the podcast. Well, this podcast you're gonna see, but we can't wait to see the movie and all the great things you're doing. And we love that you're giving back to the community and you here with us. It's an honor to have you sit down. Because when I first hit the like button, you know what I mean? I mean, not the like button, but the follow button. I'm like, she was on BET, she's on Breakfast Club. I don't know if she's gonna sit down with Nero. I'm just starting out. But you mentioned earlier that you're willing to help whoever's there, you know what I'm saying, and whoever's serious about what they're doing. So I appreciate you and thank you.
You're welcome. You know, you said something. You said beautiful flower.
Yes.
Did you know that's what my name meant?
Really?
So the name Ayana means beautiful flowers.
Wow, I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Nah.
I thought you knew.
No, I didn't. I just, hey, that's God hooking me up. He like, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you for coming through. You know, it was a great episode, and hopefully this ain't your last time coming up.
Absolutely not. And I, again, like I told you guys when I got here, I'm honored to be asked to come into your space. And to be a part of what you're doing.
Yes.
And everything is always up from where you start. You know, it's never down. So I'll continue to watch you guys grow and grow and grow and do great things. And whatever I can do to support, you know, you got me. Once we're in, we're in.
Yes. I'm definitely going to tap in with you with this book because I do want to write me a book. So
absolutely,
we're going to talk about the process of that, see how I could get it done.
And I'm going to take your podcast class.
Okay. Yes. we waiting for you. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely
waiting for you. We ready, but appreciate you. And that's a wrap for episode 43 with the special guest Ayana Bean.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Wow, 43. That's a lot of episodes.
And we started off in the house.
Okay, I gotta look at all of that.
Yeah, 43 episodes. So
I'm proud of you.
Yes.
been working.
Yes, absolutely. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Camera went out on us, but yeah. It's a wrap for episode 43 of T3MU TV with your host Nero, co-host
G.
Yes, sir. And special guest Ayana Bean. You know?
Yes.
Okay, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man, and see y'all next episode. Peace.
Peace.